Hello friends, and welcome to Kill the Crows. Kill the Crows is a fast-paced point-and-click adventure game where you play as a lone gunslinger, trying to retake your town from a fictional cult of bird people. Boy am I glad there's no secret society of birds trying to take over the world. I'm not taking the mask off, stop asking. In order to defeat wave after wave of your avian assailants, one must master the art of cowgirl. Oh, I think I could phrase that one better. The controls of this game are fairly simple. You can walk around, shoot, dodge, and channel the very soul of the Wild West. This game is extremely difficult. These revolvers are chambered in the legendary 9mm round, the bullet that blasts your lungs out, sends you flying, recedes your hairline, and lowers your credit score. You'll need to be quick on the draw because everything in this game dies in one hit. I'm talking enemies, I'm talking bosses, and I'm talking you. The difficulty in this game does a fantastic job of keeping you engaged and on edge. You can wipe out hundreds of crows, but they just keep coming. And most of the time, it's not even getting swarmed that'll kill you. Instead, it's failing to notice even a single crow that often sets you back to the start. The game has a good variety of enemy types, like the axe crow, a man with nothing but his tool, a 50-pound pair of balls, and a dream. They're extremely easy to deal with, and I'm not saying you should feel embarrassed if you die to them, because you shouldn't need me to. Gun crows are a lot more of a threat. Thankfully, the avian mind is ill-suited to the blessed art of the firearm. So it's less like a duel, and more like a toddler with a flintlock against a SWAT team. Unfortunately though, there are infinite toddlers, and they will eventually prevail. Shield crows, believe it or not, are actually harmless. Once you get over the initial panic of finding an enemy that you can't simply shoot, you'll realize they're extremely slow and very easy to flank. In fact, flanking them isn't always necessary. Sometimes you can just get the angle right, and sometimes their shield is just facing the wrong direction entirely. Next, we have snipers. Kill them immediately. I have died to snipers more than I have for every other enemy type combined. To avoid them, you can simply dodge side to side, instead of backwards, as in backwards across the very obvious aim line. Like an idiot. It sounds really simple. It is not always really simple. Lastly, we have the suicide bombers. They might as well be on your side. Their explosives can kill enemies, and do so often, even without you shooting them. They might not be very good at their job, but god damn it, you gotta respect the enthusiasm. There are more enemies than that, but I don't want to spoil them for you, because after a certain point they get a little... My biggest tip is to keep your weapon loaded. It is a revolver after all. Reloads are slow, and the only way you can defend yourself is by dodging, which pauses your reload. Should you find yourself in a sticky situation, the best way to save yourself is by activating your Showdown ability, where time is slowed and you can take out multiple enemies nearly instantly, and it even reloads for you. What I like about Showdown as a special ability is that it doesn't just play the game for you. You have a very short window to select your targets, and if you aren't careful, you can end up completely wasting it. Another thing that I love is that Showdown regenerates very quickly, so you don't have to hoard it for emergencies. In fact, I recommend spamming the shit out of it. Out of ammo? Showdown. Overwhelmed? Showdown. More than 3 enemies on screen? Showdown. Just feel like blasting the shit out of a single enemy? Well brother, that is absolutely a showdown situation. While firing with Showdown, you're completely invincible. You are not, however, invincible while aiming it, and it's one of the most disappointing ways you can die. The base Showdown lets you shoot 5 targets in quick succession. Good, but we can do better. Blue Constellation lets you draw a line between targets. You can hit up to 9 of them by chaining a single bullet. This will result in either the coolest trick shot you've ever hit, or by wasting the entire thing by shooting a wooden crate, because the game will absolutely let you draw a line that won't work. Which would never happen to me, of course. The footage that you're seeing was created for the purpose of demonstrating that I would never have that much of a genuine skill issue. Anyway. Cursed Gaze works very similar to the basic Showdown, except you can shoot through walls. It's kind of like the opposite of Blue Constellation. You can't blow it, but it is not nearly as cool. Last, but certainly not least, is my favorite of them all. Growing Hatred. Unlike all the other ones, Growing Hatred has no target limit, and despite being a 6-shooter, no matter how many enter the circle, all trespassers will be shot. Alternatively, if you aren't into having sick-ass powers, you can choose to dual-wield your revolvers. It's pretty solid, with the only drawback being when you're out of ammo, you are really out of ammo. Speaking of revolvers, you can customize that as well. Personally, I'm between the very practical piercing one and the equally practical yet significantly goofier revolver with an underbarrel shotgun attachment. It may be an abomination, but it sure is useful. To illustrate my next point, I'm going to walk you through a hypothetical. Say one day you come home, and sitting there in your favorite chair is you. Clearly, a doppelganger. What do? I've gotten a lot of mixed results on this. Me personally, I kill my doppelganger. The way I see it, there's one of two scenarios. Scenario 1 is that could be an evil version of me, here to take my life and commit horrible atrocities in my name. Obviously, I need to take him out. Scenario 2, he believes that he's the real me, and believes that I'm the doppelganger. Well, I know he's not gonna risk Scenario 1 being the case, therefore he's gonna have to kill me, so I'm gonna have to kill him, in self-defense. There's no way out of this, the two of us have to kill each other. Now on the other hand, if I were to have a clone, I would bang my clone. See, me and my clone would have an understanding to why I even have a clone in the first place. And even in the scenario where he thinks he's the original, he's still gonna want to bang. Very similar situations, yet a completely different outcome. You're most likely asking yourself, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, what I'm trying to say is that it's all in the details. And details are something I really appreciate about this game. See, it's the tiny details like the smoke that your character gives off when you shoot, the little shell casings that bounce around everywhere. Ooh, and that reload noise? Aww. It's clearly a game that's had a lot of love put into it, and that's something that I really appreciate. It's also a game where you're definitely going to get your money's worth. Now, I personally would have gone after a less cool, talented, funny, handsome sort of bird, but I mean, no one's perfect. It's still a great game, and I highly recommend it. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I know this was definitely a shorter one. It's been a long time since I've gotten a chance to actually work on a video, or really work on a video, that is, and I just wanted to do a little one to kind of get back into the swing of things. Also to explain why there is a noticeable gap in uploads, it's it's for 3 reasons. Chief among those, I am now married, and to say the least, it took a lot of time. Second reason, right after that, I had a really big work trip where I wasn't able to be at my computer. That slowed me down a lot as well. Thirdly, I was working on a different, much bigger video that, no matter how many times I rewrote the script, it just was never really coming out the way I wanted it to, and it's on the back burner for now. So that was a lot of time, not wasted, but kind of wasted. Well, regardless, I'm back now, things are normal, and I'm going to be uploading a lot more. So again, thanks for watching, and stick around.